This step is dedicated to the immediate family of the victims of NYAYO regime and NYAYO House. We all know how Kenneth Stanley Njindo Matiba, a mountaineer, left detention and the state he came in. Actually, were he not to be detained, he was planning to climb one of the top mountains in the world. He never recovered from NYAYO House or the detention. I have met families, close family members of those victims of NYAYO regime and NYAYO House. It's really sad. I remember one time I met Ouma Muga. It was at Uchumi Railways. We went to Railways terminus, and he had the matatu conductor saying that Rongai 70 shillings, Rongai 70 shillings. He gave me a 500 shilling note to take to Uchumi Railways to have change. I went and made the change I gave him, and before entering the matatu, he gave out 70 shillings to Manamba and turned to me and said, "Kijana, if I enter that matatu and we reach Bomas, they will say it is 100 shillings. I had thought that when I saw him, I had found my fare back home. But seeing him trying to have 17 loose shillings, I just gave him all the money and he boarded the matatu. I have met many families. There are some families, JM Karaoke, Robert Ouko, and others. They are financially well off, but the lack of a father figure in their family has affected them forever. There is another family where, apart from father figure, their financial position ended terribly. But before I talk about that, let me talk about how Pius Ouma Muga went down the drain. He was a professor of environment, and so one time he organized with the President Moi at State House how to make a speech in Rio de Janeiro about weather. And the speech was so funny because he made the speech, made everything, even had Moi practice twice or thrice on the movement or whatever. So when Moi went to Rio de Janeiro to give the speech, he gave it in such a way that somebody thought, you could think that he had a PhD in environmental studies. The only mistake Ouma Muga made was to talk in a bar and say, when everybody was saying how wonderful, the whole world, how wonderful the speech was, Ouma Muga made a miscalculation by saying, you know, it is me who not only made the speech, but I coached Moi on facial and body languages. That one only. I remember one time meeting a brother to one of the NYAYO victims. And we agreed that we meet at NYAYO Stadium. We went to, was it Otiende? We went to Otiende, and in his house in Otiende, and they made meals. And the way you could see from the house, you could just sense that the family had really struggled to look for the kilo of meat, 3 or 4 beers, such and such things. But when I told them I don't take alcohol, you could even see the way they jumped to the beer. It was made for me to drink, but since I'm a teetotaler, You could see the way they jumped on it is that they were really waiting for it. One of the brothers, the one who called me, told me that our mother, before she dies, she wanted to know why my brother died and in what circumstances he died. I told him that I can only assist. I can tell the mother if I can be given transport to their home and maybe 1,000 shillings so that at Londiani I can buy a debe of Irish potatoes. The mother later died without me meeting her because the family could not afford my fare to their home and back. So you could even read from the way they were talking that they really wanted me to use my money, offer my money to go and visit the mother and tell the mother how her son died. And the reason why I didn't offer the fare was because I couldn't afford the fare. So apart from that, and then we have these instances where women were, the number of women who were taken to NYAYO House could be so minimal that you allow me just to talk of men. A man goes and is detained for so long. The woman does the two jobs of a husband and a wife. Most women would work for 6 hours before the husbands were detained. Now they are working for 18. And you could find that when the man is released from detention, I'm not even talking of those who died. I'm not even talking of those who came back zombies. I'm talking of those who came back normal. He comes to the house, the wife has educated the children are loyal to there is that he cannot fit in the way he was supposed to fit. And that has permanently spoiled the relationship between him and his children. So as we interact, as we do whatever we do normally, let us put into prayers the victims of NYAYOism and the NYAYO House. Thank you.